Well, we're always losing things in our shop, and the other day I lost the knob off of my pipe cutter, and I probably ought to go get a new one, but I thought, well, this might make an interesting video. I'm going to turn a knob to fit on the end of that and epoxy it on there. And also, we got my new Sorby micro texturing tool. I want to try a little bit of texturing, put on the end of that knob. So I have it in the lathe ready to go and ready to turn. So we'll go through the process and see how it turns out. Okay, I've got my pipe thread here, my pipe cutter, and I did a little bit of measuring here with my ruler. And actually this has millimeters on it. I thought it had inches, but it doesn't. So I'm just measuring distance right up to about the edge of the threaded part, maybe slightly shy of that. And I've transferred that over to my drill bit, which I've masked off with tape. May run just slightly a little bit past the tape. Anyway, that's how far we need to go in. The hole is actually a 9/32 rod, which I mean 9/32 hole, which is the rod's 9/32. So we're going to drill that size hole. A little bit of play there. And to about right there. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to turn down the actual stem for our piece. And I'm just going to use a roughing gouge here to kind of start. Okay, we're getting ready to cut away the tenon now, and anytime that you can, use your tailstock to support your work, because they do have a tendency to begin to work out of the jaws, and so you need that extra support. So for now, I'm going to back off the tailstock. I've got just about everything cut off, and I'm going to take my tenon cutter tool and try to go after it and make sure that we're okay. See, that's not even going to have to recheck that. Always make sure before you do, and I may have to retrue that. There we go, it's a little better. Okay, now that we've got the tenon off, I actually took a little bit off of the handle because, or the knob, it just looked a little bit too big. So now we're going to do a little bit of shaping, and for that I'm going to be using this, it's called a Versa chisel. I think this is a 3/4, and I'm going to do a little bit of shaping on the handle. I'm going to move my tool rest down just a little bit and go to it from there. Try some more. Okay, don't know how well you can see this, but it made kind of a nice little swirly pattern. Probably look better with some stain on it. Kind of getting the light. So just playing around, just experimenting. Next thing I need to do is I need to sand and smooth this up, and I got some tool marks in here, so I'll need to correct that. Okay, now the only way to fix the problem that I created for myself with my knob is I needed to make a jam chuck, because there's no other way to chuck this to get the teeth marks off. What I should have done, and I knew this, and I just got in a hurry, I should have wrapped some paper towel or some sort of masking tape around that. But anyway, that's good to have this spare stock. And anyway, you can make your own jam chuck, and that way you'll have it for next time. This will fit a 9/30 seconds hole. So I'm just going to take and just very lightly finish up what I started. Okay, I'm going to apply a little bit of stain now. I like to use for a lot of things is this Minwax. I'm not going to turn it over, I'm going to dump stuff out. But it's Minwax Gunstock finish stain. And just going to put a little bit of that on there. Got me a towel down to protect my lathe bed. And I'm interested to see how that pattern may or may not look too well with that. I don't know. So I'm just going to put this on here a little bit, and we're going to let that dry. Well, this wood really is thirsty. I have applied sanding sealer to it, and I'm on, I don't know how many coats of lacquer. It goes on really nice, but the wood, it keeps drinking it and drinking it and drinking it. So we'll just keep applying, and then I think I'm going to buff it after I get tired of doing this. So, well, here's my finished knob. I put lacquer and more lacquer on it. I even stripped it back down, put sanding sealer, and it's got a little bit of a shine, but it's not nearly what I was hoping for. So I'm going to turn it now onto the buffer and see. I did a little bit of end grain work here. My pattern wasn't exactly what I was looking for, but it was my first time using it, so I'll learn. So I'm going to do a little bit of buffing now. Okay. This buffing wheel goes up to about 7,000 RPMs, so I'm hoping I'm not going to lose this piece on it. I've got it left in my jam chuck a little bit, so I'm going to just kind of move this around. This is the first application here is the Triple-E polishing compound, and then we're going to be moving over to the diamond dust wheel, which is this one right here. So it's already beginning to look a little bit better, but not, it doesn't have nearly the shine that I was hoping it would. Okay, let's go over here to the diamond dust. That's a little bit better. Now I'm going to have to switch and put on my finishing. Okay, I've changed out my wheel. One thing that I did do, this is a Penn State buffing wheel, and I thought I was going to be doing good. I ordered actually a third mandrel. You can see here, it comes with 3 wheels, and anyway, I thought, well, to save wear and tear, because, see, these do not have screw threads. You just screw the buffing wheel on here. I thought, well, just to save buying extra wheels, I just buy an extra mandrel. I'm not sure if it's worth the time it takes to take the 2 set screws apart and undo them, but anyway, that was my thinking on that. So I'm going to put a little bit of carnauba wax, just a touch here, 1, 2, 3, that's good. And then we'll take our piece, turn this up to about 7,000. Kind of keeping my eye on that thing, making sure it doesn't fly off. Because if it did, that would be horrendous. Most buffing wheels do not turn this fast. This one does. Try to keep your buffing, if you're looking at it at about the 8 o'clock position, if you're looking at it from the side, that way you don't shoot under or you don't go over. Alright. So, here we are. Looks a little bit better. So we'll attach that, get it cleaned up around the edges, attach that, and that'll be a project. Well, here we are at the beginning. Here is our pipe cutter with our new knob. And so there's a nice fit to it, nice little shine after the buffing process. And as, of course, I lost, if you have a Sorby tool, make sure that that brass knurled nut, we'll watch after that, because I actually had this thing fly off and I had to tear apart my whole shop to find it. And so just kind of look after that. And in the process, naturally, guess what I found? There's the old cap for the pipe threader, but you know what? I put so much use into this thing, I'm going to keep it. Hope you've enjoyed this video. Please subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Thank you.